Hi guys, and today I'll be talking about why I stopped watching anime. Well, well, I started watching anime when I was younger than 5 at best. I wanted to watch something that interests me. And I was always thinking, and this new thing called anime interested me personally. The first anime I watched was called Naruto. I loved the show back then, but when I got older and new kids started explaining what Naruto was, and they said all the characters were killed off or in some way. But back then, I lost interested in Naruto and I stopped watching at 7 before I heard all those deaths in Naruto. Then that same year at 7, I found out about Pokemon and I watched it up until 2025. But we'll come back to that later in the video why I stopped watching anime on Pokemon entirely. But I do still have the games of Pokemon on my 3DS and my Nintendo Switch. They're both great games and entirely. And when I bumped into a different genre of a different anime, but it had similarity to Pokemon, was called Yokai Watch. I loved Yokai Watch until it ended, but we'll come back to that one later. I still love Yokai Watch to this day. It's pretty good, and I found it humorous. Then I bumped into a show called Bakugan. I think it was called. I don't exactly remember what it was called, but I loved it. It was good. It was funny, and I liked it. But when the time came when they killed off a character, I it hit me in a different spot where a lion was some sort of lion was protecting a girl and then it was dying after it was attacked too hard, and then I just felt very sad. Bump into like Rollerblade, I think, and Frick. I don't remember what the other show was, but it was about cards. It never grew on me. I didn't like them. No, those two I did not like at all. But there was an anime that stood out the best called Dinosaur King. I loved it. I loved it the most. It was the greatest show I ever watched. It had 50 episodes, but it was still good. I loved it, and I kind of wish I wanted to watch more, but can't 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 really. In 2019, YouTube. I watched some YouTube, and then I also bumped into anime YouTube content. It was all love story and stuff. I enjoyed it at first, but it got very boring very quickly. And then I bumped into a creator while I was watching an anime, a love story anime on YouTube called Gray Still Plays. I love Gray Still Plays. He was a great YouTuber back in the pandemic in 2020, and it was good. He had great content. In 2021 to 2023, a new anime came out. The Transformers saga came out, and let me say it was fine. It But after 2023, the anime just sort of stopped. There was no ending, there was no plot twist, there was just an ending. That's it. There was no a proper ending. And that kind of made me sad. I think it a new series will come out in 2026 or 2027, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. In 2025, a new series of Pokemon came out. And let me say, I was not too pleased. Let's just say that. I did not watch it. I only watched one episode for a brief moment. Because one thing, they got rid of Ash. Why? Why would you get rid of an iconic character from 1999 to 2000 and frickin' 25? I don't understand. And to my knowledge, that in 2025 and 2026, I think the new Pokemon series is still ongoing. I'm not gonna watch it personally. I really do not like it. I don't like how they got rid of the iconic character because I grew up with Ash and, well, kind of, and it kind of felt off without Ash to me. And there was only 10 to 20 Pokemon that were added, probably less because it felt less iconic. To 2000 and I think 16 or 19 to 2020, that Yokai Watch stopped coming from the Western, stopped making Western animes and where I live, and the series only had 4 seasons, and I was pretty sad when it left, and I was very sad that day. There was one or two animes that I still watch to this very day. One from YouTube called, I think, with 11 million subscribers. I think you guys can figure that one out. And Transformers. I love Transformers still, and I'll keep on watching these two shows. I started watching this YouTube channel like this year, and I watched Transformers 2016, maybe 2014, and it's still a great show in my eyes. There are other shows that I've seen: Hunter x Hunter, Demon Slayer, and Attack on Titan, and then One Piece. I didn't like these shows either. They never grew on me, and it's just, I didn't like them. And when I was watching YouTube in the pandemic era, I saw this one anime show called Akio, Ancient Akio. I don't know what the show is about that much. It's just a girl uh shooting tranquilizer darts in other girls' butts. And I found it very weird and very disturbed and very uncomfortable, and I can't sleep ever again. But some of you are wondering why only two animes that you still watch today. Well, it's my personal opinion about anime. Anime, it's been part of my life for a while now, and I still like anime. I do think of anime in a lot of ways, and I do think of my characters in anime style, and still amazes me to this. And I just moved on with my life. I still watch anime here and there, but not as much as I used to back then. Maybe one day I'll watch anime fully, but I cannot promise it on Netflix or anything like that. The only thing you'll catch me on is on YouTube. And some of you may be wondering, maybe what if I watch other animes? Well, maybe. I might catch myself wanting to watch some other animes or new animes. But I'm a tough cookie, and I've been doing this streak for a while now. So I cannot promise anything right now. But all I can say is, with a smile, thank you, anime. Thank you for being part of my childhood for a pretty long time now. Even though I don't watch you on a traditional TV, I still watch you on YouTube here and there. But yeah. And if you guys want to see more content like this, please subscribe or watch a different video on a different content. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.